This episode of the Date Podcast is sponsored by Bopsy. Meet up to 6 people over mobile video. It's video speed dating. Download Bopsy in the Google Play Store or iTunes. Check out bopsy.com.
This is Emma.
This is Zorric.
Host of the Date Podcast. We are so excited to do another show for you. We have a few thought-provoking topics we'd like to discuss.
Do tell.
You know, how do you react when a girl, Zorric, asks you out on a date that you're kind of like, this is kind of awkward? I don't know if I want to do that.
I said, okay, sure.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to be talking about probably some of the 11 worst ways to have a date, or 11 things that are really not fun about dating. Yeah. And some of them include like places people want to go on dates.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, honestly.
It is a big deal.
Like the place you go on a date, it kind of sets the tone of the whole date, right?
Yeah.
So,
it does.
Okay. But first, we have some things to talk about. We'd like to ask for your help. We're a brand new podcast available on iTunes and Google Play. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review, hopefully a raving review. Also, tell your friends about the podcast. We appreciate the feedback and support. If you have any questions, comments, or show topics you'd like for us to discuss, you can drop us a note at hello@datepodcast or on @datepodcast on Instagram and
Twitter.
Okay, now for the fun stuff. All right, Emma.
Okay. So, do you guys know who Pete Davidson is?
Ariana Grande, right?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's how you associate him now.
That was the first time I'd ever heard his name.
Are you serious?
Who is he? No?
I know who he is.
I'm asking.
Kaylee,
okay.
do you know who he is?
Isn't he the guy dating Ariana Grande or something like that? I don't know.
So Pete Davidson is a writer and comedian on Saturday Night Live. So that's his own claim to fame.
Okay.
So he kind of took over like Andy Samberg's like shorts and, you know, kind of like that comedy that, you know, is missing now that Andy Samberg left.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, he is now engaged to Ariana Grande and confirmed this on the Jimmy Fallon show. It was actually really funny. He cussed a lot, so a lot of it was bleeped.
Uh-huh.
And Jimmy Fallon, you know, of course, is like freaking out because he's like, oh my gosh, like, censor.
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny to see his reaction.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's fast.
That's a little quick because I'm probably on the fourth date in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And there's so many more things you need to like learn about a person before you can just like say, okay, let's commit and let's jump into it. But I think that's kind of rushed. I even heard that he had a tattoo of her name on his body.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrong choice.
But apparently he does that with all of his girlfriends.
Oh, that's
Wow.
horrible.
Wow.
Does he have any like bare skin left, or is it just all like an awful canvas
Yeah.
of ex-lovers?
Yeah, he has a lot of tattoos, which I didn't realize because I think they were always covered for SNL.
Yeah.
And when I saw him doing the interview for Jimmy Fallon, I was like, oh, he's really tattooed up. Like, I didn't realize this. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, because it's usually always covered up. Mm-hmm.
Is she from Dallas? Ariana Grande?
I don't think so,
Or
but
is
I
that
know
Selena
he's
Gomez?
20.
That's
That's Selena
Selena
Gomez.
Gomez.
Oh, okay,
She's from
okay.
I know
Garland,
he's
Grand Prairie,
24
something
and
like
she just turned 25.
Oh, he's younger.
Lots
Yeah,
of
he's
mistakes are
younger.
made at that age.
I assumed she would go with
Yes.
like somebody in his 40s or something.
Why?
No.
I
Just-
figured she would go older.
Yeah, I guess
Like
so. More
I
mature.
could see her more of like the whole daddy complex thing.
Like
That's
a-
kind of what I was getting.
like a
from her.
Benedict
Yes.
Cumberbatch.
Hey, you better
He's
stop talking
appropriate
about my
for all
man.
ages.
Stop talking about my man.
Just
Or-
like Sean Connery and George Clooney. He's appropriate for all ages.
Yes.
Or who else is a guy for her? But it's too late. It's too late. Bygones
It is
be
too
bygones.
late.
The world.
Yeah.
Half the world.
Yeah. So that's interesting. What do you feel about
Yeah.
that, Emma?
I mean, people get married at every age. That's, you know, whatever. I just think these two are famous. They're celebrities. I will be surprised if the engagement isn't like canceled or or if they don't end, like if they get married and it ends up in divorce. Like I won't be surprised. Yeah. I'll actually be surprised if they last.
Undertaker.
Yeah.
Emma's the Undertaker. She knows. She called it.
Yeah, I'm calling it now. So when the divorce or the engagement is over, I'm gonna be like, I told the world.
I thought you didn't bet.
I will take this one.
Did you guys ever think you guys would be engaged at 24 or 25?
Yes.
Assuming that you guys aren't. I don't know how old you guys are. You guys are probably around that age.
I'm pretty comfortable confirming that I'm not that age.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am way more than that.
Oh, don't
You don't have to put an amplifier on it. Just say we're not that old.
We're not that old. We are wiser.
Young.
Okay.
Yes, wise. I like that reframe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that at 24, 25 I'd be engaged, and when that happened, and it wasn't. It was both sadness, grievance, and then
chocolates.
also joy.
Joy?
Yeah.
Are we at that phase now?
Yeah, part of it is joy.
Is this similar like stages of grief? Is this acceptance for us?
Yeah, acceptance. There's anger. There's bargaining.
Oh, I've been in denial for years.
Speaking of denial, who's this lovely woman next to us, Emma?
Oh,
hey.
yes. So this
hey.
beautiful voice y'all are listening to is Kaylee.
Hey.
Hi. Yes. And I'm really excited because I've spoken about her before in previous podcasts.
I'm like really famous.
You are so famous. She's the famous bear GIF lady.
And for the record, I was telling this earlier, it has gotten me more responses than anything I've sent.
So basically you're saying, ladies, it works.
You know, people need to be nice to me because I'm a genius.
Oh my gosh.
Do you want to coin the fact that you created the bear GIF thing?
I mean, I didn't create it. Let's just say that I like own it and really amplify it. I make it work.
Yeah.
Mostly because I have no idea how to say hello otherwise.
Yeah. How is that working for you though? I mean, is it good, bad, same results?
Well, so these lovely ladies in my book club,
which
highly
I'm
advised,
a part of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, own that. Highly advised against using the bear GIF, mostly because they
They're
laughed
old?
at me for
Are they
like
old?
2.5 hours.
No,
about
they're
this.
all married.
Oh, they don't know. They don't know those are.
They don't
Kaylee
understand
and I are
beauty
the
of
only
GIF.
two single ones.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna call
it's
all y'all out.
really difficult to find a way to say hello, like on a dating app that the women have to make the first move.
Yeah.
Especially if you have no game like I do. My allure is in my
Wit.
awkwardness, my wit. Yes, thank you. For
You're
that
welcome.
Lovely
Uh-huh.
word. And so to me, the GIF is like totally who I am. I'm like, my spirit animal actually is the bear. I eat a lot and then I sleep. And it, so to me, it really is like, oh, hey, like this is actually me.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
also really cuddly, but if you piss me off, I'm going to bite your face off.
Oh,
Like, whatever.
shoot. I don't know what
And
to
don't
think
wake her
about that.
up
Do not
when
wake
she's
me up.
sleeping.
No.
Oh my gosh. Do you wake
Let
up
me
like a
be.
grouch? You're like, arr.
Well, I do like stretch a lot in the morning, kind of like
Yoga?
waking up from, no,
Oh.
that's too much
A
stretch.
different kind of
No,
stretch.
I mean like I have to start moving or I will never get out of bed.
Oh my gosh.
Hibernation is a serious task for me.
Gotcha.
So the bear GIF, it works for me. It is me. And I'm just going to keep using it.
So,
Perfect.
Just to give some context, what did we talk about, Emma? We talked about Kaylee, which she was
Yes.
unnamed at first, right?
And then you named me flat
Yeah.
out.
I did.
Yeah, and we were saying that, like, I think we were debating about whether or not the GIF works. Or
Yes.
GIF, right? And
Yeah,
Emma
GIF,
was like,
whatever.
it doesn't work. And I was like, oh, it's funny. It's
Yeah.
cool. You know, it's like, it shows personality at the same time.
No.
So, yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because
I listened to that episode this week. Yes.
Because I'm like, I have proof with Kaylee. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I believe
I was
what
wrong. I'm
I
okay
put
with that.
together from your previous episodes was that I was right and that everybody else in the book club was wrong.
So the moral of the story is, should you use it or not? Yes or no?
I think that if you're looking for somebody like you who has that similar sense of humor
Yeah.
and is somewhat dorky,
Yeah.
do it. If you're looking for someone to hook up with, the bear is not for you.
Okay.
Like, no. send, I don't know, something alluring or seductive, which I have no idea what that would be. But for me, the bear gift works because that's what I'm looking for, is that like
the funny guy, the witty
yeah.
guy.
Like if you don't think this GIF or GIF or whatever we voted on was funny, then move along. GIF, okay.
Yes.
I said GIF. But anyways, Emma, what do we have going on today? What are we talking about?
Oh, yes. So we have this article by Sarah Hendricks that is from The Insider. And it's titled, 11 People Reveal the Worst Things About Dating, and You'll Definitely Relate. Yeah. And so some of these do account like first dates or just dates in general.
Okay.
The first one that she talks about is having a first date at someone's house. I think that's horrible. I do not recommend that.
No. I will say that it also depends on what stage of your life that you're in. Like, if you're in college or whatever, like, hanging out at your dorm is...
Netflix and chill. Is appropriate.
No, it's never appropriate.
It is not appropriate, thank you.
More common.
Yes, that's true.
Well, what if I have
appropriate was not the question.
Yeah. What if I have a Christian Grey type house? Like sexy, seductive, like 50 Shades of Grey type, nice.
Unless we're on a reality
closed?
TV
It's
show,
open.
I don't think I'd do it.
No? Well,
Wait, why would you put that on TV?
No, like, you know, kind of like the reality TV shows where like it's a setting like in a beautiful house. Like I think that's the only time where it could happen. But I think outside of that, like, no.
Well, the only reason why I wouldn't like this is because I'd have to clean my house.
Don't you have a cleaning lady?
I mean, sometimes, but it's just once every other week. Okay, I do. Okay, fine.
Sometimes.
And like you got to clean up, and I think that's.
Or you have to hire.
Isn't
somebody.
it called mom too?
Yeah,
Your
and
cleaning
then,
lady's
like-
called mom.
And like if I have like a Bible, like what if she's not like, what if she leans a certain way and she sees a Bible, or I have like a sheepskin type rug somewhere.
Where were we going?
Right?
With this?
No, because I've dated some vegans that are just hell bent on no, like you cannot wear leather. I don't want to see you wear leather shoes. It's crazy, but
would you be able to be in a relationship with somebody who has those kind of
No.
rules?
I love too much food.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Like I could never date like a vegetarian.
Yeah,
Because vegan. Like I need dead cow. Like right now.
Yeah, because I mean, there's different types of orgasms, and there's one in your mouth, like with
Right.
food,
And that's serious. You can't ignore that.
It's so amazing. And the last thing too is like, I don't know. It's just I would rather at a restaurant in a nice setting to where everything's set, and I don't have to worry about my dogs and everything,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah. What if they're like allergic to your dogs?
and they
What if you
like,
didn't dust something?
Oh my gosh, and she's allergic, and like I don't have an EpiPen. I can't like
Right.
Benadryl?
oh my god.
Well, if they're at my house, there's Benadryl. But
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, moral of the story, do not go to someone's house for the first date.
What if they have a weird roommate too?
Oh.
Or no
Oh.
roommate and you're there alone?
Yeah, that
Bum,
freaks
bum,
me out.
bum.
Yeah.
No.
Well, what if he's a dude with like 3 roommates? I mean, do you want to date a guy?
No.
It depends on your age too.
Okay,
right?
but like if it's a first date, you're also meeting 2 other potentials there. Let's be real.
Okay,
It's
we
half
have a
full.
different
It's
reframe.
half full. Okay.
It's more like a buffet.
There you go. There you go.
The second
Just
one is
kidding.
the cool girl conundrum. So this is something that I definitely see happening in movies more than anything.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like, ooh, look at me, I'm so cool and so artistic and so like laissez-faire.
Nobody
Oh,
is
you can't get
actually
into
that
it.
cool.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
a
so
lie.
go with the flow, and
No,
it's
you're not.
like I'm watching those movies and I'm thinking, I would be whining, I would be complaining, that would not fly. That thing is dirty. I want to clean it.
Yeah.
No, it's not me. By the way, I'm still available, guys.
Hey.
I'm still on the market.
Ladies and gentlemen, Emma.
Yeah, the cool girl conundrum. What do you think about
Is
that,
this
Kaylee?
okay?
I think there's a lot of pressure on women to fit certain boxes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I guess gender doesn't really matter. Like everyone has a certain idea of what they're looking for.
Okay.
And like women have one idea of what like the cool guy would be, and then there's the cool
Right.
girl. And unfortunately right now we're in a lot more relaxed society where, you know, I guess being exclusive is almost rare.
Yep.
And like as a woman, if you say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I expect, then the guys are like, whoa, that's too much pressure. Like,
Yeah.
no. So you
You're-
can't articulate any of that. You have to be like, oh,
Like,
yeah,
go with the flow
whatever,
and cool.
whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah, no.
We
I
can
gotcha.
totally not be
That's probably
exclusive.
why
If
I'm
you're
still
dating
single,
other
'cause I'm like,
people,
nope.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Right. No. I mean, I think there's, I think it just makes us more laid back. And I think the same thing happens with guys. And so, that's something that I've spoken about before, that it's just like culturally where we are.
Yeah.
Like in the dating world, we're not expecting so much of our partners as we used to.
I think we're still expecting it, but we are not articulating it.
Or that.
We're like all afraid to
Say
put
it
any
'cause we're
kind of
gonna hurt
pressure or
someone's
expectation
feelings.
on something because we all have to be like, go with the flow or nice or I don't know.
But
I'm
but
like the
expecting what?
opposite.
Like, Kaylee, what are you talking? Like being chivalrous or putting a label on things? Or
Any of it.
Okay.
Any of it. I think that especially with online dating, because you aren't meeting the people naturally, you almost have to convince them that you're worth getting to know. And if you have too many expectations or too many rules or you're coming across as high maintenance, then it's like, oh no, I'm done. Like, it's good
Yeah.
having this, half a coffee with you, but I'm gonna leave.
I gotcha.
Like it's just too much pressure in our society. And, even though we are the age of anxiety, apparently that kind of pressure is not okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah.
I like communication.
Yeah.
Right? I like labels because I'm older, and I don't like doing things in vain. Like if we're dating, like
yeah.
there's
I don't want to waste my time either.
yeah, like there's an end goal, whether obviously marriage, but to me I think it just depends. If you're in your 20s, then maybe
Yeah.
you can be cool, but in your 30s, I think people maybe late 30s and 40s, but I think some of us are more serious, and that's kind of
Yes.
where I am. So
Yeah.
that's my feeling.
And I do think people are maturing later in life too. Like
Yeah.
there's people that I've met in like late 30s, 40s,
Well, I wish
Late
that our
40s.
reproductive system would also mature with us.
just like put our eggs on pause.
Gosh, for real. Like,
My mother actually told me, if you want to freeze your eggs, like we can talk about that. I'm like, Mom.
yeah, I had that conversation with my mom too, if it
Too
helps.
soon.
No,
Yeah.
I've already had it.
Uh-huh. Are
We've
you
already
guys
considered
considering
it.
that or no?
Yeah, I'm considering it.
Yeah.
I would have to take out like several loans. But
Oh yeah, because it's expensive,
I think
right?
it's a good idea
expensive.
though. I mean,
Yeah.
biologically, I think it's really smart because you're less likely to have those birth effects if you have younger eggs. Like,
Yeah.
regardless of what the situation is, I think it's a good idea if it was financially reasonable, but it's not.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I'm considering it.
Yeah.
We
Well,
should-
I'm
if
at that age.
If you get like a coupon, like a buy one, get one, like that'd be great.
I will let you know, of course.
Family and friends discount.
Ooh.
Okay, what do we have next?
The 2-night stand. So I didn't know what this was, so I like that they explain it to us. The 2-night stand is a guy leads you on, pretends to be really into you, everything is going great. Sex happens, it's great. You make plans again, the date once again, that ends in sex, and then things fizzle out, or you get ghosted after those 2 dates.
Can I go first with this? Because I have a problem. Maybe that second date, she said something just very horrible.
Okay,
Or
wait,
like-
hold on.
wait,
No,
wait,
pause.
wait.
I hate
Okay,
your sheepskin
okay.
rug or something.
All right, I'll let you
You
talk.
didn't dust, I hate you.
Yeah, I don't know, like because it's like again, it's 6 weeks is too fast to get married, obviously, but
Yeah.
like after the second date, it's probably the second week, but I think maybe this sex, because a lot of sex is important,
Yes.
and maybe
Yeah.
the guy was trying to figure out if you guys were sexually compatible, and maybe that's why
Okay.
it doesn't validate that he ghosted. That's still a bad thing.
Okay.
But
Glad we cleared that up.
but I'm digging myself a hole right now.
No, just keep going. You might dig yourself out of it.
Okay.
It's fine.
I don't think so. I'm like
No.
staring daggers at him.
Yes,
Okay,
she is.
continue.
Just
No,
wait, he might have a point.
but
We'll
my
see.
my point is, I think it happens, but I think it happens on both sides. Like women will ghost us after 2 nights of sex, and men will ghost you guys after
Yeah,
2.
I was gonna say I
But-
didn't like that they
Yeah.
used like a guy because I think it puts a
Yeah.
bad rep on y'all. I think
Yeah.
it happens equally.
True.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think that, like, okay, maybe this is the conservative side of me coming out. I don't know. So please don't hate me. But if you're having sex on night 1
Yeah.
and then you have it on night 2, like, what kind of conversations are you having about what the expectations are in the relationship? Because if you're having sex that soon, you haven't really built the foundation for continuing the relationship.
So
like you said, something may have been said on date 2 that
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm out. Okay, well, maybe we shouldn't be sleeping around then. Like,
Yeah. So what is your expectation on how many? Is there a date number, or is it like a time frame, or is there other milestones you have to hit before you have sex?
Ooh.
I mean,
I feel like that's a loaded question. So the counselor in me wants to say it depends.
oh no, so ambiguous. Please more.
It really depends on the situation and the person. But I think in general, it's more of a feeling than a number. I do think that there's that cliche of, oh, it's the 3-date rule.
No.
If we're 3 dates in, like, I'm a lot, I guess, more similar to Emma on this. Like, we can kiss, like that's fine. We might have some heavy duty makeout sessions, but
You're not going out on my shirt.
not unless I've had a lot of tequila.
Not even then.
Oh no. Okay.
I drink tequila like water, so that's a little
That's
different.
true. That's
oh
true.
no.
I don't drink tequila, so.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want some tea? No.
So Emma, how about you?
What about me?
Like, what's your philosophy on the sex thing? Like, is it first date, first month?
So I will say I've been celibate. I was celibate for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
So,
Proceed.
Comma.
Go ahead.
so for me, sex is not something that like I play with.
Okay.
So if you're dating me, like
No pun intended.
I'm holding out. I'm holding out until I can.
For the right person,
Yep.
the right man.
yeah.
I might wait till we're engaged, and then if you put a ring on it, then you lock me down a little bit. Or I'm gonna test the goods, and then if we're
Did you say
compatible, then
testicles?
we're good. No, test the goods.
Oh my god!
How dare
Get it
you.
Together.
Okay.
I'm
Don't change
highly
my
offended.
words.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Keep going.
And
Go ahead.
then
Proceed.
testing it out. If it's compatible,
Uh-huh.
great. If it's not,
Yeah.
let's work on it. How can we work on our sexual relationship?
So many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
will.
know.
I
We're
will
books
say.
on that.
I know.
I will say the more a man waits, the more he wants it. And I feel like I have some friends that are celibate, and they're like, nope, I'm not having sex with you. And they're like, well, let's just get married. So it speeds things up a lot.
I've been like
you haven't heard that? Oh my gosh,
no.
yeah.
I'm really good at like I've been celibate, and it's like I don't want to be with you. Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like-
I've got a lot more of that reaction than like, oh, okay, I accept that, and I'm
Yeah.
willing to like earn that. No.
No, it's more like, and then I'm okay
Oh.
with it. Yeah, because
You have
it's
a
our
great
values don't match.
personality.
So why am I wasting my time if our values don't match? Like,
Yeah.
don't rush me into something I'm not comfortable with.
But
Yeah.
that goes
I'm not
both
doing the
ways,
same thing for
too.
you. Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to expect somebody who like is very sexual and wants to have that early on in the relationship to hold out for however long it takes for us to get married. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
that's not fair to them either.
Yeah. It depends how important that is to you also in a relationship. Some people,
Yeah.
that's like number one, sexual compatibility or...
Well,
Sexual
but you can
compatibility
have-
is,
Yeah.
yeah.
You can
like,
have that without actually having
Right.
sex.
Whoa.
You can have
You're
a
blowing my mind
spark.
right now.
You're
Because
welcome.
you can have, because a lot of times I think we think of
yeah.
sex and intimacy as one thing.
Okay.
And they're
Lies.
right, and they're very separate. And so you can have the intimacy, which can tell you, okay, your sex life like will actually be great because like
Yeah.
look at how these other factors that
Right.
actually go into sex or that you know like are like
Yeah.
look at how we cherish them, look at
Yeah.
how we value them, and it translates into sex.
Holding somebody's hand in a movie can be way more intimate than actually having sex. 'Cause
Yes.
sex could be just an like.
I
an
mean, it's
itch
just
you're trying to
penetration. It's
scratch.
really
Yeah.
what it is. Well,
Right.
if we're talking about
It's a
just like
button.
heterosexual.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having an image of like someone hitting a red button and like the atomic bomb
It's
going
like
off.
sex, button, sex. That's. I wish it was.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Have you not seen that
simple.
episode of Friends where she's like, seven? No?
No, I have not.
Oh, I'm done. I'm leaving.
Oh, that is like the best episode ever.
yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
It's so good.
Okay, this could turn into like a sex episode, but
It
go
could.
ahead, Emma.
It
Go
could.
ahead.
All right, we're gonna
I
move
thought
on
that's
to
what
the
I signed
next
up for, but
one.
whatever.
The fourth one is no longer going on dates after you're officially dating.
Can I also throw in married?
Oh,
It drives
Yes.
me crazy. Like, no, you should always be dating that person. Always.
Yeah.
keep
Put in
the
effort.
spark alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fun because then like what you're doing, you're just like going over to each other's houses, watching Netflix or
You're
binging on your
coexisting.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, where's the fun in that? Like, is this where your relationship is? Like, did you just court them just so that you could, like, give up on their relationship?
You courted them so your entire relationship can be Netflix and chill. Like, that's it.
That's horrible. I do that by myself.
I love Netflix and I love chilling, but I can do that alone, like you said.
Yeah, and it kind of shows effort whenever you keep dating someone that you're in a relationship with.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that I know in my past relationships that's happened.
Yeah.
Where, you know, we're whisking each other around the world, Napa Valley, LA, you know, as you're laughing. Vegas.
I'm just laughing because I'm like, whoa, damn. Like, nobody's taking me to Napa.
Oh, he took someone, like, on the 4th date to Vegas.
Yeah, we went to Vegas, and then maybe the next month we went to Napa.
I think that Kaylee and Zorric might just go on a date just for the heck of it.
Can you take me to Napa? Like, I'd be okay with that.
Okay.
I like wine.
Okay, let's go, like, right now.
Move some money around. Hey, guys, I'm not coming to work tomorrow.
But guys, always date your woman, okay?
Yep,
out there.
But women date your man too.
Also, too, yeah.
It needs to go both ways.
One of the things I've been like binge watching Queer Eye. Like second season is out. I love them so much. Jonathan Anthony, be my best friends forever, please. Yes. And Karamo and Tan and Bobby too. Okay, anyway.
I love you.
So one of the things that Tan always says whenever he's selling the guys is you expect your wife to dress up for you.
Right.
Like you need to also dress up for your wife. You
good
know?
point.
Because
good
it's
point.
true. Like you wanna keep it appealing. Like you're gonna
I wish you guys could see her hand gestures right now. Really emphasizing this.
Yeah, I mean we're all growing old. We're all, you know, like some of us might get work done. You know, I'm gonna probably deny if I ever get work done, but just know that like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And with that, like it's also gonna like I have to evolve with the times. I can't be stuck in 2018 when it's 2048.
Yeah.
Can we change that I to we? Like we need to be evolving.
We need to continue evolving. Yes.
But I think also if you don't let yourself go, your woman, you know, is less likely to look at another man, and the man is less likely to look at another woman, right? I think.
I want to keep it fresh.
Separate issue.
Uh-oh.
Like.
All right.
Okay.
Are you gonna take the tangent?
Like
are you gonna take the bait, or are you gonna let it go?
That would be a whole nother.
By the way, I think I needed to like just. I don't know if he said this at the beginning, but Kaylee is also a licensed marriage and family therapist.
Associate.
Associate. Supervised by Jennifer
Right. Don't you do the whole thing?
PCS.
Yeah. I am a
supervisor.
licensed therapist. Let's not get into the details.
Yeah. So she's an associate under supervision. And so, so this just might give a little bit more perspective what we haven't already done so as to why she's getting so heated.
Yeah.
She's a professional.
I'm a professional opinion haver.
So do you have like a Cliff Notes version of that? Can you
of my
explain
license?
it? No. Yeah. For what I just
said. Of your opinion.
Opinion about.
So you were talking about like looking at another guy, looking at another girl. Yeah. To me, that's completely separate.
Oh.
Like there's a whole different, I guess, concept with that because it could be like I'm attracted to this person physically, I'm attracted to this person emotionally, mentally, and if you're putting effort into the relationship, then your focus is on that person regardless of like what they look like. So there's that side of it. But then there's the other side of like, I can look at the menu, but I'm not going to order anything.
Yeah,
like,
men, come on.
If you look at somebody, you're not doing anything. Ladies, calm down.
And men calm down too.
Stop looking.
Yeah.
I like to catcall men.
Ooh.
What?
Let me hear that. Let's hear that.
How?
Ow!
Did you stub your toe?
No. And then I'll clap and I'll be like, yeah, turn around. Woo!
Is this at a construction site or like?
No, this is anytime like men are like really athletic.
Hey.
Oh, so how does that work out for you? But I'm like,
it doesn't.
Excuse me, ma'am, are you?
It's more of a recreational
activity.
It's a
recreational activity.
Right.
So Emma, if I was like, ma'am, are you catcalling me? What would you say?
Yeah.
Indeed. I'm like, what's your name?
I really like your butt.
Oh, you do? I have 2 cheeks. Would you like to see them?
And then I'd probably run away from you because you took it
sitting
too
in the middle
far.
of this and it's getting weird.
You took it too far.
I was going to ask you to Netflix and chill with me, but I guess not.
Yeah, you took it too far for me.
And rave?
Ooh.
What? There's commercials?
I've never heard of that before.
I just made it up.
Oh, okay.
It's new. Copyright
The next one is one
Katie
of our
McDonald.
favorite things. I think that we all love being done to us, which is being ghosted after a few days.
It's the best.
Right? I think we all agree that this is our favorite experience of dating.
So I read this article a few days ago, and I read it again, and I was like, so there are some people that I need to send messages to. And
Why, Zorric?
I sent a couple
little
messages today because I felt a little guilty because
Yeah.
men, we do this all the time. I don't care how good a guy you are.
Yeah.
You're going to do it. And so this is what I said.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is what I said.
Bum.
I sent this
women do it too, though. I will admit it.
I said, hey, I hope you had a great vacation because she was going out of town. Thanks for taking the time to meet me last week. We had a fun date, but I didn't feel a romantic connection. I wish you the best. So, men,
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I get a lot of this. Men
Very
tell
direct.
me, how do I break this off? Or even women tell me the same thing.
Yeah.
And so I give this advice, and I
How
say,
do we break things off?
just use this, copy and paste, and just change the name, and they
Maybe
use
take
it.
out the vacation part in
Take
case
out the
they haven't left
vacation,
in a while.
make it seem like, it's towards them, not
Yeah.
towards like somebody
I mean,
else.
we were just talking over
Fill in
one
the
of our
blank.
friends over the weekend when she was telling us she was ghosting this guy.
Yeah.
But in her defense, like she had told him, I don't want to talk to you. And
That's
he
to me,
continues.
That's not ghosting. Like
you don't.
That's
No.
like a stalker
No.
trying to.
Like if you're like, this isn't working, and the guy keeps messaging you, no.
Mm.
I also think that it's like there's also a way to respond to ghosting. Like I've gotten messages from guys a day later if I haven't responded because hey, I have a life, and they're like, fine, I didn't want to talk to you anyway, and I was like, cool, block.
Ooh. So how do you break it off, Kaylee? Do you?
I am the wrong person to ask.
Well, what
about
do you do?
that.
Like, tell us. Like, what's your
Is
experience?
it so wrong that just makes it so right?
Oh.
ghosting?
Well, how you?
Well, how you do it.
How I just don't know how to do it very well. Usually it's something along the lines of like, I don't even know. I can't even think of an actual example right now.
Have you ever not ghosted somebody? Is that what we're getting at?
No,
Okay.
it's just been a while.
She's lying. you guys.
No,
I think she's
So-
lying.
I lie about lots of stuff. That's not the point.
Mm.
So no, no. Honestly, I haven't done online dating in a while. Like it goes in waves. No, honestly, I've been
Okay.
ghosted more than I've done the ghosting.
How does
I
it
think
feel when you get ghosted?
It's really painful.
It fucking sucks. I mean, I'm just being real.
And
Yeah.
honestly, it's so common. I don't even take it personally anymore. I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. And so I just go back to like whatever else I was doing with my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what irritates me is when we're having a conversation and I'll make a comment and then they go, yeah. Like, okay, cool story.
They don't continue.
And then I'm like, okay, now it's your turn to continue the conversation.
Yeah.
So is that him ghosting or is that me? Like, that's usually what happens is the conversation just fizzles out because
out.
they don't know how to have a conversation.
Exactly. Like some men don't. Some men are
I'm not a
very.
professional at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
I say it all the time. Like, I'm really good about telling other people what to do. I just can't help myself.
Well, no, like we're professional communicators.
Right.
Right. So when people don't know how to continue a conversation,
Yeah.
it's like, this isn't going to work if you don't know how to use your words.
I'm also real petty. So,
Thank you for owning that.
I own all of my flaws.
I know you do.
I know what they are.
Like in a trophy case at this point.
You guys, as you walk in the tour of my apartment, here are all my flaws.
This one's in gold.
Yes, this one's shiny. I polish this one once a week. I really make sure it stands out.
All right. What else do we have, Emma?
Oh, well, I mean, the next one is also like ending a long term by ghosting, which I think is really
So
crummy
rude.
and sucky.
Yeah.
And if you've been in a relationship for that long with a person, like, have the decency to tell them that you think it's over. Like, woman up, man up, and just like tell them, like, I'm judging you hardcore if you're doing that to someone.
Yeah. It's
After a long
yeah.
relationship. I would say
I mean, regardless,
A
if
year
you've been
and
on
up.
multiple dates, you shouldn't be ghosting.
a
But
year and over.
Yeah.
a year and over is long term.
I think so.
Okay.
If you've been dating someone for a year and they ghost you to end their relationship,
Yeah.
that's crappy. I mean, even if it's 10 months, it's crappy, but
Yeah.
like,
I feel like though in our day and age, I feel like I keep talking about like the time we're in, but like 3 months is almost long term, just because so much is like
evolving
so
and
fast.
changing.
Yeah. Like
3 Apple iPhones probably just came out, and that
right.
was-
If you have had a new phone since you've been dating the person, like don't be ghosting. Even if you dropped it in like the lake, just don't ghost people.
Yeah, but I think also it depends, because it says dating. So what does dating means? This is kind of also number 7. But like, is it defined? Or are you guys just kind of doing things here and there, and you're not really in a relationship? You guys haven't like spoken about it.
Yeah.
Or
Careful, you're not being cool now. Don't be defining things.
yeah.
No, I want to define things. I want labels. I need.
Yeah.
My type A personality needs to know what's going on. So yeah, I would definitely have. I have that conversation with people. It's like, okay, so are we going to be exclusive? Because if we're not, I have issues with this, and it's probably not going to go anywhere. And if we do stay like not being exclusive, I'm going to be bitter, and I'm going to have resentment towards you, and then that's going to be anger towards you. So
Yeah. Which is
Do you
really
want that?
unhealthy for a relationship.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of defining, what's the next one, Emma?
Starting relationships with a friends with benefit arrangement.
Oh. Okay. So I'm confused about this one. So do you establish that up front, and let's say, hey,
Yes.
so maybe you guys hang out once or twice, and you're like, you know what? Hey, let's go ahead and bang.
Let's go.
Let's do this. And then after a few times, you guys talk about it and say, hey, this is how it's going to be. Let's just try to keep it separate. Or does it just keep happening without defining a relationship?
I
I'm
always
trying to figure
thought
out
friends with
this.
benefit was like if like you and I are friends, and then we're like, hey, do you want to like mess around and have sex? And then it'd be like, okay, friends with benefits. That's how I saw it.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out what it is, but that could be it.
And I feel like it's like it also implies that you have a friendship with this person long term beforehand. Like
Yeah.
so it wouldn't be that you met somebody online and then you just start hooking up, because you're not friends with that person. You
Yeah.
don't know them.
Yeah, the strangers.
This would have to be something that you already have a relationship with them in a platonic way, and then you alter it.
And then it evolves.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This makes no sense to me. But anyway.
No, I think this is a worst arrangement, because somebody's going to get attached, someone's going to get feelings, and
There's
then
a
the
whole
other person.
movie about this.
Ashton
Oh, yeah.
Kutcher and somebody.
That would be
No.
No Strings Attached.
Oh,
and
is that
it's
the same
Natalie
thing?
Portman.
Oh.
No.
Oh,
It's
no.
the same. It's the same thing, but
Okay.
it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
They
Isn't
came out
it?
at like the exact same time.
Yeah. Okay.
The other one is Justin Timberlake and Mila
That's what I
Kunis.
thought.
I'm basically a walking IMDb. Fair warning.
It's true.
Yeah. Sorry.
So,
That's what I do with my life.
what do y'all think about building relationships through text?
Well, you have to,
Mixed.
right?
Yeah.
Because if you're on Tinder and Bumble, that's kind of like texting.
Yeah.
But once you start dating, we're all busy, right? And so we're texting during the day, we're texting at night.
You always call me.
But I'm old.
So am I.
But I think it
I'm
depends
not.
on your generation too.
That's true.
Right?
I prefer to talk on the phone, though.
So,
if
Kaylee,
it's like a long
I hate
conversation,
the
I'd rather
phone.
just like get it over with. It's gonna be
No.
quicker if we talk in person instead of like texting. You don't understand like tone of
No.
voice.
yeah.
Then use your emojis.
I forget you're like a younger millennial.
I'm really not that much younger.
So,
You're not
Kaylee,
in the age category that we are in. The age range.
so if we were
Yeah.
dating,
Yeah.
and I said, I usually ask the question, do you prefer text or phone calls, or like what's your
Okay, but what's
preference?
dating? Like,
Well, maybe we've gone on like 3 dates.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I'm the guy who likes to not text all day, but just have a phone call, like 20-minute phone call at the end of every other day, maybe.
So I have a reason why I'm anti-phone.
Okay.
They never end in 20 minutes, and I have shit to do.
Okay. But on whose part? Is it because of you, or is it because of the other person?
I mean, maybe both. Like, I'm a
Okay.
talker. I
Gotcha.
converse. So
Okay.
if we're not talking about something like specific, if we're
Uh-huh.
just kind of chatting about our day or sending funny pictures, like
Yeah.
texting is fine.
Okay.
And I like texting because I can be doing other things and I can talk to you when I have the time.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But like a phone call, I can hear the tone of voice. I can tell what's happening. And for me, one of my biggest pet peeves is people talking over me.
Ah. Okay.
And So a phone call will
That's
tell
the
me
therapist
really
in her.
fast. Oh, it's a lot of things in me. So I can tell really fast if they're going to be respectful to me if
Yeah.
we're on the phone and they're like going, oh, wait. Well, that reminds me of this time, or this is what you need to be thinking. And I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. So men
No.
out there, don't call Kaylee because she will talk,
I will talk to
but
you.
she would rather text.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and especially if it's like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, like I'm getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually cut
I'm
Zorric off.
Netflixing, chilling by
Yes.
myself. Like, why are we doing this? Go to bed.
Do you talk to the guy before you go on the first date? Like, do you expect him to call you, or would you prefer that?
I'm neutral about that,
Neutral?
really.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like, especially with online dating, yes, it's a first date, but it's not really a first date. It's a first meeting.
It's a date. Come on.
It's like,
Are you a hopeless romantic like Emma and I are?
internally or externally? I think yes, I am a hopeless romantic. I am a Disney kid until I die. But I also think that the expectations we put on things these days is almost like the kiss of death. Like,
Yeah.
But that's what's wrong with our generation is
wait,
that we're
our
not
generation or
willing.
your generation?
Okay, fine, mine is that we're not willing to have these expectations, and so like
Yeah.
that's why they fall through. It's because nobody is like having that conversation.
Breathe.
hands.
But honestly, like part of my deal with this is that's my thing because of my anxieties with dates. Like if I go into it thinking, oh my God, like this is a date. Is anything in my teeth? Am I going to say the wrong thing? Sometimes I get tongue tied. Like, oh my God, he's going to think I'm an idiot. And I have blonde hair, so that's already something. And I'm like, I'm actually really smart. And so I think if I tell myself, I'm just meeting this guy, like this could go a bunch of different ways. Maybe we hit it off as friends. Maybe like, I don't know, he could become a networking buddy or something like that. Like if I tell myself it's not that big of a deal, it's easier. It is actually a date. Like I still put the effort in just as if it, was a really important date and I've known this guy for a while.
Yeah. So you dress up, you look nice.
Right.
Yeah.
I contemplate how high the heels should be just in
Yeah.
case. Like
I hear you, and I totally understand your point of view. I appreciate
So this is all
it.
about my anxiety and the lies I tell myself.
I'm sorry I yelled at you.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
And this is something that we've been covering, I think, throughout the whole like segment, and how exclusivity isn't the default.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that, Emma? Like, why is it not? Why is it not? Why is it not the default? Because
Are we going to be talking about this again?
back in the day, before online dating, like you would talk to somebody and that would be like.
I mean, yeah,
Steady.
you would come
Yeah.
visit
Did you get their
me
pin?
and, my Downton Abbey house, and then we'd fall in love, and then we'd get married because we lived in the
They
country,
Die.
and then die.
Yeah. Yeah.
TV is why I have trust
We
issues.
don't, I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like, obviously, like we're meeting people like online, there's no more like being set up with a friend of a friend, or we're not,
Yeah.
like that's if it does happen, it's very rare,
And it's
so,
more like, oh, this person's single.
yeah,
You should date them. And that's it.
and I think
Yeah.
kind of like apps are, like they give you a buffet of people, and so. We've spoken about this before, like FOMO is a part of it. Like we have fear of missing out. And we're like, if I become exclusive with this person, look at all the things I can't have anymore. And it's like, great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here.
Yeah.
I think
you're
men
exactly right.
I think men and women have a different take. I hear a lot from women that they only date one person anyways. So is that being exclusive? Maybe, maybe not.
In the point of view of the woman, probably.
Yeah, but the man, I
Yeah.
think most men will date at least, more than around two or three people at once. So
Yeah.
there's kind of a disconnect there. And I think from a man's perspective, I think our issue is that we're dating more people, and that's why it's not default. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So,
Yeah.
This last one is my favorite, and I totally know someone that does it too.
uh-oh.
I know a lot of people that do this.
Relying on social media to prove you're official. First of all, I find you annoying. Second of all, I know it's all for show. Third of all, you're gonna
Fingers,
break
three
up
fingers.
soon, and I
Oh.
can't wait to relish in that when you take up all the pictures.
Oh my
I am that
gosh.
person that creeps.
Fire.
Hashtag petty.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh.
And hashtag, there's a group of us that are going to be waiting for that to
Oh
happen.
my gosh.
It's like reality TV on Instagram.
Oh my gosh. So, Kaylee, what do you think
Yeah.
about this?
No, I agree. And I think I'm very cautious about like what pictures I post. Most of the time it's some kind of food that I made. But I think you have to be careful about what you put on social media because there's that whole phrase like pics or it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you put pics up, it happened and it's real and you can't get out of it. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
This
And
is
it's going to be
documented
stuck on
forever.
there. And then my sister and I are going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
So, no, that's going to happen.
And then Facebook's going to remember it 5 years later and be like,
yeah,
"Remember when
that's
this
always the best thing
happened?"
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I regret posting pictures of friends that I'm no longer friends with when they pop up, and I'm like, delete.
That's happened to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Zorric, what are your thoughts on that?
Social media. I see a lot of. I feel like a lot of couples post pictures, and they're not so happy. I feel like sometimes
sorry.
it's a front.
How?
I don't know.
Like it's
like the pictures
because-
aren't happy or they
No,
are
they're
not
happy in the pictures, but I feel like they're trying to prove a point to everyone
Yeah.
that everything is perfect. But in
Oh yeah, I
essence-
have someone that
Yeah.
does exactly that, and I
Yeah.
swear the boyfriend just looks mortified in every single picture.
Oh my
They
gosh.
don't know how to smile or something.
Maybe, or he's just afraid of her. I don't know.
Oh, that's a different issue.
Yeah. So I try to just wait. I think we talked about this, Emma, but
Yeah.
I like to wait even to friend somebody on Facebook.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, because you put something on social media, your mom sees it, and your mom's like, "Who's this?" You
Yeah.
know, and so you're asked 20 questions.
I'm so thankful my mom is Hispanic and does not believe in social media. Counting on my blessings.
Yeah.
I don't have that luxury.
I know you
Oh.
don't.
So
My mom is still friends with one of my ex-boyfriends on Facebook.
Oh,
She's like, "Did you see this?" I'm like,
Oh.
"No."
So what did you learn about all of this
yes,
then,
what did you learn about the whole
Kaylee?
thing?
Well, he and I never posted anything because it was never. It's a long story. Basically, she like loved him and was ready for me to marry him after meeting him once, and like he and I never really took off and ended up just being friends.
Yeah.
But she'll like tell me things like, "Hey, did you see so and so did this?" And I'm like,
she really loves him.
"No, he's married, He's happily, and like they're the cutest thing." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Mom, let it go."
Oh my gosh, let it go. Speaking of letting it go,
Yeah.
so what can we tell the audience in your perspective? That I don't know. What's your philosophy on dating and how does
Yeah.
this relate to everything? And
Which
what
one?
can
I have multiple.
Oh my gosh.
Pick
Just
a category.
Pick the most basic
No.
one.
the most basic one,
Yeah.
or like, what hits you hardest? Or,
So communication,
Okay.
having it, not having it, is making or breaking it. You know, when it comes to ghosting, if you decide you don't like the person, like say something.
yeah,
You don't have to tell them that you think they're ugly and stupid and all this other awful things, but don't just drop off the face of the earth.
yeah,
And I think being honest, like, hey, we're just not compatible, but you're a cool person. If you want to like hang out or whatever as friends, that's fine too.
yeah.
But yeah, I think at the end of the day, communication is key. And you know, going back to that social media thing, don't be posting everything. And you know what? Let me alter that. This is not just about dating. Don't post everything. Nobody cares.
Yeah, no.
That's true.
Yeah,
Stop. Like, stop posting every little part of your life.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You're not a celebrity.
You're not. But we all try to be.
Yep.
Again, that's a different issue. Yeah, no.
Zorric, what's your takeaway?
My
Yeah.
takeaway is, first of all, online or just dating sucks in general, and
Heck
just
yeah.
it's just crazy. 10 years ago, dating was so different. I think the issue today is that it's so easy to find somebody new, and so it's harder to commit. I know, for at least from a man's perspective, it is, because we're always on dates, multiple dates, and it's so easy to ghost because you're actually on to the next person already, and you're not
forget.
thinking about the last. Exactly,
Right.
you're not thinking
Like,
about the
"Oh, I
last
didn't mean
person,
to."
and then you're like me. After you read an article and you send a text and say, "I'm sorry," but
Well,
it's
better
just
than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good job, Zorric.
that's me. Go ahead, Emma. What do you close it out? What do you have?
Oh man,
Think.
I'm gonna be single for the rest of my
No,
life.
not about this. Not about you, but about this.
I'm gonna be single the rest of my life.
We're catastrophizing.
That's true. That's true. That's true. What did I learn?
Yeah.
You know, you said something right now in your closure. I probably dated more 10 years ago than I am dating now with apps. So I went on more dates like when dating online wasn't a thing. So
when the norm was to actually meet in person.
So I think that I need to change something about myself.
But which you can always change.
I
Every
can
second of the
always
day, you can
change.
always change.
I think I just need to accept that this is where we are and just like be the cool girl about it. Not really, no.
Have sex on the first date. Maybe
For
have
sure.
friends with benefits.
Don't define anything.
Totally.
Yeah.
Just
Get on
be laid
social
back.
media.
Yeah.
Post everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do all those things.
All the things that everyone tells you not to do.
Yes.
Yes.
Just
I'm
rip
going to
that
do
Band-Aid
it.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thanks, everyone. That's all we have for today. We hope that you enjoyed the show. If you have any questions, comments, or show topics you'd like for us to discuss, you can drop us a note at hello@datepodcast.com or at datepodcast on Instagram and Twitter. Kaylee, thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
I'm both a licensed professional counselor and marriage and family therapist.
I'm a certified IT guy and app entrepreneur.
We know that you love us, but the information on our podcast is provided for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional services of any kind. If you or anyone you know needs professional help, please seek mental health services.